Well, there's the proof of concept on the projector hull cover. So I went ahead and cut the top piece. I still got to cut the back pieces, and the side pieces are just another one that kind of just fits, which is mostly holding up the second one. It's kind of pressure fitted, but not really. Obviously I'm going to have to use the thicker stuff for it to match, otherwise it'd be stupid. So something like A. Oops, sorry. Also, I'm hoping I got enough, because, yeah, I should. Because I have two this length, well, the full size. Here, let me show you. I got these guys here. The white one is a different one, although it's the same width. But since I have two of these, and this one has been top and bottom, and it looks like it's long enough for left and right, I should be able to use the other one for the back. So it'll be the exact same front and back. And that's how I'm going to secure it, is I'm going to either screw them or glue them together. And then they will probably just clamp in place, considering the foam. Although I might go ahead and actually screw it into the wall too. Not entirely sure yet. But it's not really affecting the image any. If anything, it cleans it up, which is kind of the point. To make sure I don't have any like frilly foam bits. It's definitely tilted a little. So I do need to pick up that left corner and see if I can shift it over to get rid of the black on the corner there. And then hopefully tighten it down a little. Also, if you didn't notice, I got this part mounted now. I don't know that I'm in love with it. I knew it wasn't I knew it wasn't going to go across the back wall, which was fine. That's why I did it this way. So we're going to be facing the TV with the two equipments this way behind us. Doesn't really matter. And that's the side of the thing I don't really want to look at anyway. And I don't necessarily mind the stair step. It gives it some character, I guess. I don't know. It's fine, I guess. I was going to go behind the electrical pole, but it didn't really want to fit, so I just went over it. But at least the LCDs are on either side, so just the PCB goes over and it's fine. And then I was going to go behind the electrical wires with this, but I didn't really want to stick my hand in there. And it's really dirty back there. So then I just kind of rested them in front and decided that looks stupid, especially since it only stopped like right here. Plus, I gotta do that city inspection, and I'm sure that's probably some kind of safety hazard or something. So I just kind of stopped it there and kind of come down, so it looks like it's coming out of the panel. And I thought it was kind of neat. Plus, like I said, you're not really gonna see it anyway. I did go ahead and tack this side down. I was gonna tack it up there, but it's like a millimeter or two too short, and I can't get any more slack on it to tack it up there to this piece. And this is, like I said, stupid hard to nail into. So I just did a zip tie. I might put one here and zip tie it there, just to kind of take up some of the slack. More than likely I'll do that. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. I've been up, not quite all night, but a good chunk of it while the wife was asleep. So I think I'm gonna call it a day here. I'm getting pretty tired. This I figured out was the tape pulling away from the shade. It actually stuck to the cardboard, which was part of my original plan. I'm hoping if I just kind of push it back up and use another piece of like gaff to go around the outside like I was talking about, that'll help secure it. I still need to redo that. The jigsaw will actually cut this. I was just cutting it dumb. If I put it like that and cut it, it can go through there just fine. The boot doesn't actually catch like it was the initial. I still cut the inside part with a box cutter just to give me in theory, a cleaner cut and have a little more control. And of course I still need to paint those black and whatever. But that's where we're at so far. More than likely this is starting a new video. So I will continue this, probably with more projector hole stuff. Probably with putting the immersion kit down here on the back of the TV. And probably playing with the spiral lights again. Not necessarily completing them in that video, but at least testing them out and seeing what I like. So, there you go. More to come. Well, I've been busy. It's another night where I'm home and the wife is asleep. Work's been fun. I mean that sarcastically. But I don't really want to get into it right now. It's not really the time or place. But I got the immersion kit on the TV. Not totally convinced it tracks super great. It's possible I just didn't do the calibration correctly. Obviously I need to clean up the cabling a little bit. It's just slightly too small for this TV. I'm pretty sure this is a... I want to say it's a 55, but it might only be a 50. And I think this immersion kit is, if it is a 50, then I think 55 is the smallest TV it really would be good on. It goes right to the edges, but you know, it's a gym TV. I don't necessarily really care what it looks like all that much. But yeah, so it seems to favor greens and blues when it's watching content. And it doesn't really seem to track like the corners all that well. It's kind of just picking up the center. I gotta, like I said, fool around with it a bit, run a couple of test patterns through it, so I can kind of more easily figure out what it's doing to see if I configured it correctly. I got the hole pretty much done as far as a test fit. So I got all four sides on this side done. This right side here is crooked because the hole is crooked. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is slimming this down a little bit, the inside part, putting a filler back in here on this side to straighten it up, because this bottom part is the minimum I need for the hole. I just made the hole too big. I still need to paint it. It's not secured in any way. It's just loose right now. But I did play with the projector a bit, make sure it's not interfering at all. I actually figured out partly why I was having alignment issues. So apparently the mount at the top is loose. Where it actually screws into the wood, those screws aren't tight. So that's where my wobble comes from. So basically I adjusted the horizontal axis to compensate where it hangs at its lowest, and it's a lot more cleaned up now. I also did reshift the lens a little bit. I played with the screen positioning a tiny bit in that corner, decided to leave it where it was, but I got it more or less plumb now. It's pretty much flat. I zoomed in a little bit so it covers like most of the edges. It's still a little bent in this corner where it kind of like has an angle, but 3 out of 4 sides are pretty damn spot on. Tweaked the focus a tiny bit so it's pinpoint sharp again. At one point I thought my panels were starting to get out of alignment, because it seemed like I was getting a blue and red shift, or you know, like drop shadow in text and stuff. But I heard it was a digital adjustment and you would lose image quality. So I just put it back to 0, and it seems fine again. So I'm not really sure what was going on there. I did run a little bit of content since all the updates. Zootopia, because I know in the train scene it stutters pretty significantly, pretty regularly. It's a lot better. It still hitches a tiny little bit, and it does it with both the actual Blu-ray and the Blu-ray rip anyway, and the re-encode. on every file I've ever tried with it. So just something with that scene. But it's a lot better now. I got this taped up. So while tape isn't ideal, I kind of like the way it looks. It blacks it out. It hides all the light bleed from the top. It hides the light bleed from the sides. I have it pretty small in the front, so it doesn't really overlap on the ceiling tile. This side I could trim back, but I did it to match this side. And this side is actually partly holding it up there. As you can see, it's already kind of starting to fall again, but it's at least staying in place. So that takes care of that kind of gap that I've been having since I couldn't really get it to secure. And I think it blends in well enough, especially considering the light levels and such. So I'm going to kind of do a similar thing over here. I got to redo the tape since I never actually did. And then once that's done, I'm going to do that. It'll help reinforce everything, and this way they'll match. Plus, I don't really like the way the band looks. This part here on the shade. I think that's a much better transition. So I'm going to do that over here. Again, so it'll match, but I think it'll look better anyway. As you can see, this guy's out. So I think I figured what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in front of the 4 speakers for Atmos. So I'm going to do like right in the seam. I'm going to do there, over here, and then in front of these 2 with the 4 of them. And then I'll have 2 left that I'm going to do like here and over here to kind of match the entry points to the rows. I figured that'd be a good use for them. I should be able to secure them pretty easily to the vent and run the cables up to the ceiling. I think I'm going to do it in 2 zones. So I'll have the 4 in the ceiling on one plug and have the 2 over here on a plug. And I'll be able to like chain them together, but I can also split them up if I want to. Which I think will be a good use of that. And then I went ahead and got this nailed in. Well, screwed in. So top and bottom I got screws into the wood so it can hang there now. Gets it off the subwoofer, looks a little more professional. Things like that. I need to figure out where Mr. Freeze over here is gonna go. I kind of forgot I had him. Got this from Blockbuster way a long time ago. He's probably gonna go somewhere in the staircase, because as I'm about to show you, I got the posters up on the wall, or at least some of them. These are the small ones that don't go in the marquee. That I didn't really have much use for otherwise. So they're here now. We got Armageddon, Narnia, Apollo 13, Fantasia. I have the, none of you are probably going to remember this, but when they were doing the Titanic VHS release, if you pre-ordered, I think you got a 11x17 print of the movie, double-sided, had like Jack and Rose on one side and I think just Rose on the other. So I just needed to put that up. I had a Lion King, but it wasn't taping to the wall because, like I said, this stuff doesn't hold tape. But I had already put a bunch of tape on the back of the poster, so I didn't want to just let it laying around. So that actually ended up on the plus room door, and I like it in there. It's on the inside of the door. Ties together because I have a bunch of the African critters on the shelf up there anyway, and it's, I needed something for that door anyway, so I think he's gonna live up there. I need to go through my poster frames and, well, my poster tubes rather, see if I have any other small ones. I thought I had a small matrix that I could put up. Most of them are the big ones that are gonna go for the marquee. But I'll see, maybe there's some more in there than I remember. So there's that. The other video is still rendering. Last I checked, it had about 6 hours or something to go. 6 or 9, something like that. So it should be going up here pretty soon. Of course, you'll already have seen that before you even get to this guy. But things are starting to get back on track. It's only about 2 a.m. So I think I would like to at least get 1 or 2 of these guys mounted, just to kind of see how I like it. I'll make sure I can run the wiring the way I think I can. I'm probably going to have to pull down a couple of these tiles. But, you know, they're screwed now, so it shouldn't be too hard. Even if the tape, the double-sided pads kind of don't work when I put it back up there, I'll just screw it. It's kind of what I'm doing anyway. So I still really can't make any noise. So I can't, like, do an Odyssey calibration or anything like that. I did put those screws in, but I did it with the manual screwdriver, so it wasn't no big deal. But yeah, I'm going to play with these guys a little bit. And go through my posters and get some food. And that should take me till when the wife wakes up. And if I still feel motivated, maybe I'll do an Odyssey run. Though honestly, I kind of doubt it. That's something I want to sit down and spend some serious time with. I think I will pull out the tablet, recharge it up, because I haven't used it in months. Get everything on it updated, just for giggles. Alright, see you later. Well, playing with the new toy, the Govee Sync, which takes the music input and splits it with up to 5 devices and makes kind of a combined show. Of course, the glide's part of it too. Well, it was a pain in the butt, but I did it. It's really hard reaching this stuff, especially with a ladder, but I got Rocket from Guardians. I got the Matrix up. I got the Captain Kirk versus Gorn poster that my wife got from her brother for Christmas one year. Mr. Freeze is up. kind of at the top of the stairs here. And then we got, I mean, you saw these guys earlier. But now we've added a bolt and had a training dragon 2 to the list. I found the Brother Bear one that I was thinking of. It's a fold-out poster. It's pretty neat. You can do it like a couple different ways. Problem is, it's entirely too big in any of its orientations for me to get onto the wall. So that's not gonna work, unfortunately. At least not here. I'm not really sure what else I can do. I would like to get something in this space, but it would have to be something low, and then it's not really going to fit the rest of it. The only thing I really have left, as far as I know, I can go through them again. They have this Titanic kind of thing, which I was talking about earlier. But, you know, not my favorite movie in the world. But it could fill in a gap or something somewhere. Also, I had a thought about the RGB IC lights down here. About it controlling every 6 versus every 3. It is over twice the length of the one upstairs. So that might partially dictate the spacing and the number of LEDs that, well, the number of chips more specifically. And then therefore the number of LEDs each chip has to control. So maybe that's the difference versus diversion. Not really sure. I don't work for Govee. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Just something I thought of earlier. This is still holding and looking pretty sharp, as if I do say so myself. So I guess that's definitely going to be the plan for here. We already discussed the spirals and what I want to do for that. I didn't actually get to that yet. I got distracted by looking for posters and found some of the old stuff from my childhood, some old things that I wrote, some old pictures. And the Brother Bear picture happened to be in that box. It's really the last box I haven't really unpacked up till now, since we moved in. That I wasn't really sure what was in it, at least. So that set me back a bit. I have to do some things around the house, namely trash and things like that. The other video finally finished rendering, so I'll go ahead and get that posted here, probably before bed. I'll just get it uploaded. But yeah, she's coming together. But yeah, basically I'm done down here for now. Although I did bring the hexagons down. I was gonna at least kind of play with the Art 3D panels. It's been forever since I've had these out. Oh, and I can't really get to them right this second because of the plush and such. But I was gonna do a mock layout and see kind of what I want to do. I think I'm gonna do them on this wall. I have a thought. I was thinking about maybe doing the come here, buddy. Doing the llama on the wall. Kind of doing the hexagons around him. What's on your foot, dude? And then doing like the blue Art 3Ds around those. Kind of like a border with, you know, kind of a white space between them. But I want to kind of lay it out and see how I like it. But that might be a project for another day, or I might take a quick look at it here. Not real sure yet. To be determined. But that's all I got for you for right now. Nope, I lied to you again. One thing I've been wanting to mention, and I keep forgetting, is I did have one speaker that I had to fix. This guy, the rear right, had a loose connection on the back of the amp. So that's the one that wasn't working after spinning it and playing all the cables. So I got that fixed right away. Those are our 3D panels I was talking about. like I said, they're pretty huge, so it's going to cover a big chunk of that wall if I end up doing that. So, I don't really know what else we're going to put down here. I mean, I do have the Star Trek poster back here. Yeah, maybe that'll work next to the Kirk thing. Because getting a staple in there's one thing. It's really hard, especially in all corners. You can't get enough pressure. Getting a screw in the wall to mount that is a little different. I gotta see if that'll even fit in that space. But I think I'm gonna check that out real quick. And I'm just blind. There's nothing wrong with Almost foot. It's just his grass. And it was kind of bent weird. So yeah, he's fine. So yeah, let me go see if Star Trek fits. I also want to get this printer moved because it's bugging me now that this base is starting to come together. This is my old Dell laser printer. Spent like $1,000 on it at the time. I think it was like $700 on sale. But after like 10 years, the imaging drum messed up on me. It was starting to get streaks, and I think I screwed it up. I took it out and I tried cleaning it, but I think I let too much light get onto it because now everything prints super faded. I'm hoping that it's been sitting in the dark for like, geez, I don't know, close to a year at this point. I'm hoping I'm just gonna plug it in and turn it on and it's gonna be magically back to normal. Kind of doubt it. And I didn't necessarily want to buy a new imaging drum because I'm not 100% sure that that's the issue. And it's like a $300 part. And I got a new printer that's basically as good, in some ways a little bit better, certainly more modern, has Wi-Fi, everything else. For less than that, because it was way on sale. So I went that route, and that's been the one I've been using. But I do have like almost $700 in toner in here, because I finally put new toner in on my colors for the first time since buying the thing. And shortly after that is when it died. So I could print a whole bunch of nice stuff for money already spent. Bonus. If not, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's also on my Dell credit card, which, like I said, that I bought this thing at this point like 15 years ago. So whatever. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I'm gonna give it a shot. Move it on top of the desk in the other room. It's just heavier than hell. One of the things I am going to get from Florida when we go down there is like an apartment size fridge. So I think that's going to probably sit on top of the table. I think it'll actually fit because it's not that tall. And this way we can have some cold waters and drink some stuff down here for both the gym and the movie area. But that's still several months away, unfortunately. But I would like to get that area cleaned out regardless. I'll get to chores in bed eventually, but I think this is what we're gonna do with the hexes. Up on the wall, of course. These are so much better than Nanoleaf. Well, I finally got one of them up. What a pain in the ass. Screwed them into the duct and the tile was fine, the actual mounting bracket. But then trying to get the tiny little hole screws into the tiny little holes that I can't really see to get the light remounted to the bracket was very frustrating. Matter of fact, I gave up. I only got one of them in. The other one is not there, but I mean, it's not heavy. It seems pretty secure. The cord's temporary. I'm gonna route that up and around at some point. But that's at least one of them. Also, I only put one screw up into the ceiling. More just because I don't want to have to put more holes in the duct than I need to. Plus, it does give me the benefit of I can actually spin it now. So I can kind of adjust the pattern. And it's, like I said, it's tight enough, it's fine. I was about to trim the inside, well, the top piece to even this out. But when I kind of positioned it, it was interfering with the left edge of the screen a tiny little bit, or it was at least right on the edge where it was hard to find a balance. So I figured I got a jigsaw. This stuff cuts pretty easily. So I took out the nib on the bottom that was preventing it from mostly going straight. And then I did actually trim a little bit of the top piece so this could also slide over. So I kind of split the difference in a way. I am going to go ahead and redo this piece all over on the left because, you know, when it was set up, these are actually, this used to be on this side and this was the piece for over here. This one had to be shorter because of the nib. You know, it wouldn't go all the way down as far. So now it kind of looks dumb. And this piece does fit over here exactly the way it needs to, as you would expect. I mean, it should be a rectangular hole. So I'm just gonna use that as a template to recut the other side, and then I'll use that either in the back where it won't matter as much, especially, I mean, they're gonna overlap, or I'll, you know, have to cut a piece of the white one as a one last filler. But that's that. So my new sleep schedule is I sleep for a little bit before the wife comes home. She comes home, I hang out with her because she's working first shift and I'm still working thirds right now, while she's in training anyway. And then I go take a nap before work again. So I get like 3 to 4 hour sleep sessions if I'm lucky. So I'm gonna call it a night again. I don't really want to deal with another spiral right now because that was not fun. I do need to vacuum up my side dust from cutting the piece though. I was half expecting like the foam and stuff to get messed up, but it seemed alright. So yeah, one more tiny little project done, or at least started. And there, yeah, we're getting there, slowly but surely. This seems like a good point to wrap this video up, just so I can get something else up on the channel. I'm working the next 3 days, and like I said, with that sleep schedule, I really don't get anything done on my days off. Almost never. So I don't know that I'm actually going to get the other lights up or cut more projector hole stuff. I don't know. I'm also probably going to have the wife paint them black with the spray paint. I could give it a shot, but I don't think that'll go super great. I've really used spray paint, believe it or not. I don't know when she's going to get to that. Probably not until next weekend at the earliest, so yeah, that's all the progress right this second. But, you know, it's kind of amazing how much difference just another little light makes. It's gonna look really sharp down here when it's all said and done, despite being pretty amateurish in construction. Alright, catch you later.